Greetings. I hope you and yours are doing well today, wherever you are. The topic of this video, was suggested by one of my friends, was to talk about what it means to be a true Mason and a true follower of God. So those things can best be exemplified in your character, in how you treat one another, how you smile at your neighbor. You're having a clean heart for everybody, regardless of race, religion, gender, and exemplifying a true and godly nature in all that you do, which means you live a clean life. You don't disrespect your family in any way. You try to honor your neighbor, your family, the promises you made them, to your loved ones, to your friends. All those exemplify you as somebody who follows the path of God, hence the term being a Mason. That's where you get all that from. And the first qualification, and my opinion, the most important one, is your heart, because that's where you're first made a Mason. And if you're a true follower of God and you honor your family, your community, your promises you made to them, and you honor everybody at your work, and you just try to be the best that you can be in your character, and even on social media, because that's where people expose themselves the most in terms of their nature and their ability to not have restraint on their thoughts. So I would say that just being a true and honorable person is what this really describes who you are. And that's the best definition for it. Not wearing a ring, not wearing a hat, not wearing a shirt or a license plate. None of that proves any of you like that proves that, okay, you know what, I belong to this fraternity or this group. None of that proves that. What proves who you truly are is your character in person, to your family, on social media, at your workplace. That defines who you really are. And that should be the lesson for all of us, that we have to live an honorable life. We have to be true to somebody's face and behind their back. And and that's just how you have to live your life. It's really not much to it. I guess other examples you could put as like, just be honest in your business dealings and how you treat others, how you're exemplifying yourself at different venues of life, including social media. And also it could be just how you are living your life. Are you living your life in a system of self-improvement where you're trying to better yourself every day and you're trying to give back to those who helped you get to this point in your life? So that's what it really means. Because I guess the whole modern lot structure has kind of corporatized everything, where everybody just has that shopkeeper's mentality where they just need enough bodies for the chairs to keep things rolling. But you know, it's a lot deeper than that. It's about exemplifying your nature and you learning about the different forms of knowledge that are out there, and you try to learn anything you can that gets your curiosity, and you share that knowledge with others. You learn from it. You humble yourself to learn from others. Because, you know, I have seen people with the rings and the hats and, you know, on different groups and stuff on Facebook, you know, they think that they're better than others, but you know, that's not true. If you are a Mason and a man of God, a true one at that, you should treat somebody with the same respect and value and honor that you give to your brothers and to your family, because that defines who you really are. And that's my answer, you know, to my friend and to anybody asks, what does it mean to be a true Mason and a true follower of God? And I would say just be an honest and loving individual, because everyone has a spiritual price to pay in this life and the next. And my advice is that, you know, even the things that you think you're getting away with, you're really not. So if you have an opportunity to help somebody or exemplify your character to others, then please do it, because you are somebody's impression of whatever you represent. So if I'm representing Islam and Freemasonry and Sufism and other things, they're going to learn about those things through my character. And if I treat them bad or or do other things, or make derogatory posts towards them, or do other disrespectful things, then they're going to think the same thing about me. And some of them paint everybody with a broad brush. So if you want that perception to change about you or your people, whatever you might be, then you need to start exemplifying that attitude from yourself, because to manifest that external change, first you have to heal and exemplify your inner temple. That's the only way you're going to manifest that inner frequency to the external world. And you have to speak up. If you see anything being done wrong to anybody and you have the power to do so, then speak up about it, right? It's not about looking the other way, because a true follower of God does not do that, because he knows that God has witnessed that moment of him ignoring whatever was going on. And God will ask him one day, okay, why did you ignore this when you knew you had the power to do something about it? So you got to exemplify all of the tenets that you represent, all right? No matter what happens, because that's who you promise to be in the name of Almighty God, which followers of God and Masons fully revere. And that's how I lived my life, honestly, since I was a child up until now. And God has always been good to me. He has looked out for me. And he will do for you too, when you honestly just ask for forgiveness and ask for help with your divine free will, and ask Almighty God, please make this world a better place for me, my family, my loved ones, my neighbors. Please heal the hurt and the sorrows that are afflicting everybody, no matter what trials and tribulations they're being put through. And give me the strength as a true follower of God and as a true Mason to make a difference in their lives if I can. And help me correct those that are claiming to be your followers but are doing things like divisive social media posts, acting out of order, and other forms of behavior that does not define who we are. So please give me the strength to do this. And if you have these thoughts internally with your inner voice, and you tell yourself this every day, I think we'll be able to turn things around, and we'll be able to just heal the hurt in this modern, almost 2020 world that many people have in their hearts, where they don't have a purpose, they're still feeling empty, they're just lacking something, and it's not being fulfilled no matter what they do or what they join. At the end, it's just that same corporate mentality. Just get whatever you can out of them and just discard them and find 10 new people. It's like we see with the modern Masonic structure, right? Where they're not taking care of their current members, but they're just pumping out new petitioners as much as they can. And you give a wrong perception about that, because like I said, you are somebody's impression of who you really are. And it's like the father that has kids that need to be looked after. It wouldn't make sense if he abandons those kids that he has and starts pumping out more, thinking that that will solve his problem. That's not the approach that we should have. It's about loving one another, living up to your tenets of being a follower of God and a follower of Masonry, and understanding what was the purpose that Almighty God put me here on this world to do. And I will do it, and I will face each trial and each tribulation and try to make this world a better place for everybody, regardless of who they are. And that's the task that I pray that I get the strength to do, because that's the world that I want to leave behind. I don't care about, the social media followers or the YouTube views. For me, it's about getting the message out there that makes a difference to at least one person minimum. If one person minimum can take a heed to my message, then I fulfill my purpose of what God sent me here to do. And the only thing I would want you to do is, please make things right. Honor your family, honor your loved ones, honor your neighbors, honor your workplace. Be an honorable individual in all that you do. It's not always about you at the end, where you choose to look the other way and keep walking. There's more to life than that, my friends. So please, I hope you understand that. And I hope in this video I've been able to break it down to you through my personal expressions of what it truly means to be a true Mason and a follower of God. And I pray each of you have the strength to do the same, and be good in all that you can do, and help all that you can help, and speak up against those that need to be spoken up against. Because if none of us refuse to do anything and all we're worrying about is being expendable and pumping out petitions, then I don't think we will be around by 2040. But I want many of you to turn that around by following the things that I've said. It's all in your hands. And the only way we can turn things around is not just for Masons, but for humanity in general, is through our love for each other. And that way we won't have the chaos and the division and the darkness that we're seeing now. We have to be that light. If we are who we say we are, then we have to be that light. So thank you again for listening to my message. May God bless all of you and your families. Take care.